The it didn't go off the screen.
Oh, that's a different thing that pops up. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. It's two things pop up. One for the tell me if it's recording, and I don't remember what the other one is.
Good morning, Farah.
Oh, the other one tells you it's being live streamed. And we're going to do this. Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we're putting just the finishing touches on getting ready here. Good morning, everyone in Facebook land. And I believe that is the lovely and talented Nene Ha that's watching us right now. You know, she had a rough week, man. She had a rough week. So, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my friends. God's blessings upon you. Let's praise the Lord together, my friends. We have all awakened in God's shelter. Now we've come to praise His name together. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good my friends. My friends. Sing Hosanna. Hosanna. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. In the sanctuary of our Lord's protection and the stronghold of our Lord's defense, with His love our spirits are illumined as we glorify His name. Our hearts are blessed. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. My friend. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's see. We've got Jiva. Good morning, Jiva. And good morning. Well, hello, Cambiza. And hello, Farah. And hello, Michael. And hello, John. John's with us this morning. Nene is joining us through our Facebook stream. So hi, Nene. How you doing, babe? Is it okay to say babe in a spiritual gathering?
No, that is your baby.
No. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. You?
I'm doing okay. So I guess we need to go ahead and get started. As always, we are studying and quickly coming to the end of The Advent of Divine Justice by Shoghi Effendi. And normally I start out by doing a review, and I'll admit I got a little distracted. I'm glad I keep notes in the book, and I mean opening up with a little review of what we did last time. But if memory and my notes serve me well, in our readings last week, Shoghi Effendi was pointing out that yes, we need more teachers who need more resources. And what's this other thing I have written here? And that those resources have to be efficiently administered. So again, this is not these teaching efforts down in South America, and of course, at that time down in South America, they're not haphazard. There are avenues of support and so forth. But he also emphasized the importance of having adequate publicity and promoting these through the use of the various publications and so forth that were out there. He also pointed out that, there would be various obstacles, and some of them would be just those cultural differences that teachers would be dealing with as they attempted to teach people whose lifestyle might be very, very different. He also pointed out that we need to have all teachers going to a different culture. They have to have the utmost respect for the authority and for the laws of the land and that places as we are in our own homes and so forth. So, but one of the big things that we really emphasized was the importance of not becoming so enthusiastic in our teaching that we end up proselytizing.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're supposed to avoid
proselytization.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And part of those teaching efforts, I tell you what I have written here. This is just me, my words. You have to get out and get a life so you can actually meet people, because Shoghi Effendi said, seize every opportunity that presents itself to make the acquaintance and awaken the genuine interest of such people who are either citizens of these countries or are in any way connected with them, whatever be their interests or professions. So we're supposed to be making attempts at meeting people. And what I had here, like I said, was you have to get out and get a life. And I don't know about you, man, but I spend a lot of time just
closing up.
Yes. And when you throw in, the pandemic, that I think for teaching efforts around the world, that for many people has become more of a way of life. I think of that, just that as much as we were glad to no longer have to isolate, still, I think that's probably one of those challenges is getting used to getting out and actually interacting with other people. So, those are some of the things that we covered.
This section in my book is called, the title heading is The Appeal for Pioneers. So,
the Appeal for Pioneers. Oh, okay.
Yes. And for those of us who are Baha'is, we know that there's a constant appeal for pioneers, not just pioneers in other countries, but home front pioneers as well. So,
right.
So let's pick up here.
Okay.
As to those who have been able to leave their homes and country and to serve in those regions, whether temporarily or permanently, a special duty which must continually be borne in mind devolves upon them. It should be one of their chief aims to keep, on the one hand, in constant touch with the National Committee, specifically entrusted with the promotion of their work, and to cooperate, on the other, by every possible means and in the utmost harmony with their fellow believers in those countries, whatever in the field in which they labor, whatever their standing, ability, or experience. Through the performance of their first duty, they will derive the necessary stimulus and obtain the necessary guidance that will enable them to prosecute effectively their mission, and will also, through their regular reports to that committee, be imparting to the general body of their fellow believers the news of the latest developments in their activities. By fulfilling their other duty, they will ensure the smooth efficiency, facilitate the progress, and avert any untoward incidents that might handicap the development of their common enterprise. The maintenance of close contacts and harmonious relationships between the Inter-America Committee, entrusted with the immediate responsibility of organizing such a far-reaching enterprise, and the privileged pioneers who are actually executing that enterprise and extending its ramification far and wide, as well as among those pioneers themselves, would set apart from its immediate advantages a worthy and inspiring example to generations still yet to be born, who are to carry on with all its increasing complexities the work which is being initiated at present. It would no doubt be of exceptional importance and value, particularly in these times when the various restrictions imposed in those countries make it difficult for a considerable number of Baha'i pioneers to establish their residence and earn their livelihood in those states, if certain ones among the believers whose income, however slender, provides them with the means of an independent existence, would so arrange their affairs as to be able to reside indefinitely in those countries. The sacrifices involved, the courage, faith, and perseverance it demands are no doubt very great. Their value, however, can never be properly assessed at the present time, and the limitless reward which they who demonstrate them will receive can never be adequately depicted. They have forsaken their country, is Baha'u'llah's own testimony, for the purpose of touching our cause.
Teaching our cause.
I'm sorry. Teaching our cause. These shall the faithful spirit strengthen through its power. By my life, no act, however great, can compare with it, except such deeds as have been ordained by God, the all-powerful, the most mighty. Such a service is indeed the prince of all goodly deeds and the ornament of every goodly act. Such a reward, it should be noted, is not to be regarded as purely an abstract blessing confined to the future life, but also as a tangible benefit which such courage, faith, and perseverance can alone confer in this material world.
Okay, I got to stop you there, Daryl. That's a lot. That's a lot, and he pointed out a lot of things that some which I think have been touched on a little bit before, but I think that of all of this, I don't know, that last sentence you read, does that have any real major? Does anything jump out at you from that last sentence? I said, hey, Andy. We didn't say hello, Andy. Hey, Andy.
Well, it says that there are rewards for doing this.
Yeah, and they're not just...
they're not just heavenly rewards.
Exactly.
There are rewards that can be attained in this life.
That, to me, is... I'm thinking of the conversation you, Jeremiah, and I were having earlier. We were talking about that Jeremiah, our tech guy that helps us get set up and so forth. He and Daryl and I were talking earlier this morning just about, let's just say in general, let's call it the limited resources that today's world, with the economy and the challenges of living today, the limited resources that many of us are laboring under. And, here we're reading that in regards to whatever, the reward is, that there are real tangible rewards associated with teaching. It's not, to read that sentence again, such a reward, it should be noted, is not to be regarded as purely an abstract blessing confined to the future life, but also as a tangible benefit which such courage, faith, and perseverance can alone confer in this material world. Now, it doesn't specify what they are, but still very, very tangible benefits. And that's coming straight from Shoghi Effendi, based on, the writings of Baha'u'llah.
And he says what it will take. It takes courage, faith, and perseverance.
Boom. Yeah.
That's what it takes.
And that's, well, go ahead, finish your thought, please.
No, I was.
I'm just saying, think about how much anything you really want to accomplish. If you're stepping into new ground, what's unfamiliar to you at least, even if you're somehow familiar with what some of the challenges may be, or let's say you're not familiar with what the challenges may be, but you know there will be challenges. You got to have faith. You're right. You got to have perseverance. You got to be willing to make the necessary sacrifices. I am telling myself this as much as anyone else.
Sure.
Because there are times when, sometimes your faith gets challenged.
Of course.
Sometimes it's like, do I really have to go through this? And sometimes the sacrifice seems like, I don't really want to make that sacrifice,
Yeah.
which means status quo remains.
But it pays off.
Yeah.
It pays off.
Yeah.
The solid achievements, spiritual as well as administrative, which in the faraway continent of Australasia, and more recently in Bulgaria, representative believers from both Canada and the United States have accomplished, proclaim in terms unmistakable the nature of those prizes, which even in this world, such sterling heroism is bound to win. Such sterling heroism is bound to win. Whoso, Baha'u'llah in a memorable passage, extolling those of his loved ones who have journeyed through the countries in his name and for his praise, has written, hath attained their presence, will glory in their meeting, and all that dwell in every land will be illumined by their memory.
Read that again, please.
His loved ones who have journeyed through the countries in his name and for his praise is written, hath attained their presence, will glory in their meeting, and all that dwell in every land will be illumined by their memory.
As you were reading that, I wrote, as I was reading this earlier, the word legacy down. And I just think that that's a wonderful legacy to have.
Absolutely.
It might not be world famous, you might not be even famous beyond a particular community, or well known, let's say, or loved beyond a particular community. But to have that as part of, your life's legacy, to say that, you actually ventured out, whether it be in another country or elsewhere, to work to teach this faith.
The cause of God.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes, and one interesting thing, we are told that the names of us who do that and the names of people who do step forth for Baha'u'llah will be remembered much better in the future than the politicians who live in this day.
Right.
See, this is why Andy should be here, because he can say things like that. Thank you, Andy. Yes.
I am moved at this juncture as I am reminded of the share which, ever since the inception of the faith in the West, the handmaidens of Baha'u'llah, as distinguished from the men, have had in opening up single-handed so many such diversified and widely scattered countries over the whole surface of the globe, not only to pay tribute to such apostolic fervor as is truly reminiscent of those heroic men who were responsible for the birth of the faith of Baha'u'llah, but also to stress the significance of such a preponderating share which the women of the West have had and are having in the establishment of this faith throughout the whole world. So it's not just men, it's men and women.
Exactly.
And all shall be remembered.
I love the fact that he pointed that out, especially, in regards to women teaching the faith. I love the fact that he specified that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Among the miracles Abdul Baha himself testified, which distinguished the sacred dispensation, is this, that women have evinced a greater boldness than men when enlisted in the ranks of the faith. Not surprising. Not surprising. So great and splendid a testimony applies in particular to the West, and though it has received thus far abundant and convincing confirmation, must, as the years roll away, be further reinforced as the American believers usher in the most glorious phase of their teaching activities under the 7-year plan. The boldness which the words of Abdu'l-Baha has characterized their accomplishments in the past must suffer no eclipse as they stand on the threshold of still greater and nobler accomplishments. Nay, rather, it must, in the course of time and throughout the length and breadth of the vast and virgin territories of Latin America, be more convincingly demonstrated and win for the beloved cause victories more stirring than any it has yet achieved. Terrific. Wonderful.
Terrific.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Not sure I've heard that term used in reference to spiritual guidance, but terrific. Go with God. Terrific. Okay. I'm assuming you want to go ahead and do a song.
Yes.
Okay. Now, no, I'm just going to hope that this goes well. I'm simply going to hope that this goes well. And while you were doing all that, you would have thought that I would have set things up here, but I did not. So give me a moment. And I think now things are terrific. I'm going to be using that word instead of allow. Sometimes I was going to say terrific. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. Nothing is too much trouble where there is love. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. There is always time. I know your days get busy, your nights can be so long, can make your head get dizzy when things keep going wrong. But there's a heavenly power to always pull you through. That's the power of love sitting down for me and you. 'Cause where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. Nothing is too much trouble where there is love. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. There is always time. Sometimes your problems pile up so high, makes you just wanna leave, clouding up your crystal blue sky, making it hard to believe. That's when it's time to remember that love is waiting for you. Hold on until the darkness is gone and love comes shining through. 'Cause where there is love, Nothing is too much trouble. Nothing is too much trouble where there is love. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. There is always, always time. Make time for love. So remember, make time for love. Take time for love. Make time for love. 'Cause where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. Nothing is too much trouble where there is love. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble. There is always, always time. Yes, there is always, always time. Yes, there is always, always time. Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there is always time. I know I say this almost every time we do that song, which isn't often, but I'm not sure that comes from Abdu'l-Baha or Baha'u'llah.
Me either. I don't know.
If anyone out there knows, and we've asked people before, if anyone out there knows, is that straight from Abdu'l-Baha? I've been told it's from Abdu'l-Baha, but I haven't actually seen it in writing myself, and I guess we shouldn't take too much time discussing it right now. Maybe we should discuss it afterwards. Okay. To continue.
Let's move on. This next section in my book is called Baha'i Youth, to the Baha'i Youth. It's directed to the Baha'i Youth. So, and I think you should read it.
Let me write down Baha'i Youth. I don't have that, those subtitles you have. To the Baha'i Youth. To the Baha'i Youth, moreover, let me start over again. To the Baha'i Youth of America, moreover, I feel a word should be addressed in particular as I survey the possibilities which a campaign of such gigantic proportions has to offer to the eager and enterprising spirit that so powerfully animates them in the service of the cause of Baha'u'llah. That eager and enterprising spirit. Even Shoghi Effendi knew that old folks get tired. Okay. Though lacking in experience and faced with insufficient resources, yet the adventurous spirit which they possess and the vigor, the alertness, and optimism they have thus far so consistently shown qualify them to play an active part in arousing the interest and in securing the allegiance of their fellow youth in those countries. No greater demonstration can be given to the peoples of both continents of the youthful vitality and the vibrant power animating the life and the institutions of the nascent faith of Baha'u'llah than an intelligent, persistent, and effective participation of the Baha'i youth of every race, nationality, and class in both the teaching and administrative spheres of Baha'i activity.
I think that warrants a repeating.
I think you're right. No greater demonstration can be given to the peoples of both continents of the youthful vitality and the vibrant power animating the life and the institutions of the nascent faith of Baha'u'llah than an intelligent, persistent, and effective participation of the Baha'i youth of every race, nationality, and class in both the teaching and administrative spheres of Baha'i activity. And again, that diversity, that inclusion, that, yeah, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is, it doesn't matter even what language you speak. It's, you certainly want to speak the language of the natives. But the bottom line is, whatever was your source, you still can go, you still can, use your energies and knowledge and faith to teach this cause. Yes, Andy?
One thing that really grabs me is when I consider that when Shoghi Effendi wrote this, that the youngest of the youth, of people who could have been by definition youths, would be 99 years old today.
Oh, wow. You're right.
That's incredible.
Oh, my goodness.
But the advice and the descriptions have always were true then, and they're true now.
Wow, exactly. I'm so glad you recommended this book, Daryl. I mean, really, there's so much. Again, we keep talking about it's from 1938, right? But we haven't come across anything exactly that isn't absolutely, this could have been written today. Through such a participation, oh my goodness. Okay. Through such a participation, the critics and enemies of the faith, watching with varying degrees of skepticism and resentment the evolutionary processes of the cause of God and its institutions, can best be convinced of the indubitable truth that such a cause is intensely alive, is sound to its very core, and its destinies in safekeeping. I want to put that on a plaque, a wall plaque, something. I hope and indeed pray that such participation may not only redound to the glory, the power, and the prestige of the faith, but may also react so powerfully on the spiritual lives and galvanize to such an extent the energies of the youthful members of the Baha'i community as to empower them to display in a fuller measure their inherent capacities and to unfold a further stage in their spiritual evolution under the shadow of the faith of Baha'u'llah. Faithful to the provisions of the charter laid down by the pen of Abdu'l-Baha, I feel it my duty to draw the special attention, to draw the special attention of those to whom it has been entrusted to the urgent needs of and the special position enjoyed by the Republic of Panama. Both in a view of its relative proximity to the heart and center of the faith in North America and of its geographical position as the link between the two continents. All this is very strategic and it's not haphazard like we said before. All the above countries, Abdu'l-Baha, referring to the Latin states in one of the tablets of the Divine Plan, has written, all the above countries have importance, but especially the Republic of Panama, wherein the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans come together through the Panama Canal. It is a center for travel and passage from America to other continents of the world, and in the future, it will gain most great importance. Wow. I think that has definitely come to pass. Right. Yes. Talk about vision. Likewise, he again has written, ye must give great attention to the Republic of Panama, for in that point, the Occident and the Orient find each other united through the Panama Canal, and it is also situated between the two great oceans. That place will become very important in the future. The teachings, once established there, will unite the East and the West, the North and the South. So privileged a position surely demands the special and prompt attention of the American Baha'i community. With the Republic of Mexico already opened up to the faith and with a spiritual assembly properly constituted in its capital city, the southward penetration of the faith of Baha'u'llah into a neighboring country is but a natural and logical step, and should, it is to be hoped, prove to be not a difficult one. No efforts should be spared and no sacrifice be deemed too great to establish, even though it be a very small group in a republic occupying both spiritually and geographically so strategic a position. A group which, in view of the potency with which the words of Abdu'l-Baha have already endowed it, cannot but draw to itself, as soon as it is formed, the outpouring grace of the Abha kingdom, and evolve with such marvelous swiftness as to excite the wonder and the admiration of even those who have already witnessed such stirring evidences of the force and power of the faith of Baha'u'llah. Preference, no doubt, should be given to all would-be pioneers as well as by the members of the Inter-America Committee, to the spiritual needs of this privileged republic, the Republic of Panama. To the spiritual needs of this privileged republic, though every effort should at the same time be exerted to introduce the faith, however tentatively, to the republics of Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica, which would link it in an unbroken chain with its mother assemblies in the North American continent. Now he talks about obstacles. Obstacles, however formidable, should be surmounted. The resources of the Baha'i treasury should be liberally expended on its behalf, and the blessed and most precious exertions should be consecrated to the cause of its awakening. The erection of yet another outpost of the faith in its heart will constitute, I firmly believe, a landmark in the history of the formative period of the faith of Baha'u'llah in the New World. It will create limitless opportunities, galvanize the efforts, and reinvigorate the life of those who will have accomplished this feat, and infuse immense courage and boundless joy into the hearts of the isolated groups and individuals in the neighboring and distant republics, and exert intangible yet powerful spiritual influences on the life and future development of its people.
That's a good start.
Yes, it is, and that's quite a vision. I mean, I reading this, and we've already mentioned on numerous occasions, and even today, the relevancy of this to today, and I know he's speaking specifically of Panama and the other South American nations, yes, Central American nations, but again, we can, if we take away the national labels, the national titles, and we can apply this, as we pointed out again, but I still think it bears repeating, the importance of teaching the faith wherever you go, wherever you are, in the ways that are available to you, and the benefits, the blessings, the rewards that can come out of that, both intangible and tangible. It's certainly important that we remember this and use it as inspiration.
Absolutely.
Yeah, use it as inspiration. Now, why are you picking that up, Nick?
No, I'm not going to pick it up.
Okay.
Because actually right now it's time to have our Kambiz moment.
Yes, it is.
So anyone else who would care to share a song or prayer.
So, Kambiz, do you have something to share with us today?
Sure.
Yes, we've missed you, so please.
I missed everyone. ای بیگانه با یگانه شمع دلت برافروخته دست من است. آن را به بادهای مخالف نفس و هوا خاموش مکن و طبیب جمیع علتهای تو ذکر من است فراموشش منما. حب مرا سرمایه خود کن و چون بصر و جان عزیزش دار. Now the translation of what I chanted is this hidden words in English. O befriended stranger, the candle of thine heart is lighted by the hand of my power. Quench it not with the contrary winds of self and passion. The healer of all thine ills is remembrance of me, forget it not. Make my love thy treasure and cherish it, even as thy very sight and life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Campies.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Campies.
that translation. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. Now, Andy, do you have something you'd like to share with us this morning?
Sure.
There we go. Now we're back on. We're not muted anymore. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
This is a quote from Abdul Baha. All created things are connected one to another by a linkage complete and perfect. Look into this endless universe. A universal power inevitably existeth, which encompasseth all, directing and regulating all the parts of this infinite creation. And were it not for this director, this coordinator, this universe would be flawed and deficient. It would be even as a madman, whereas you can see that this endless creation carrieth out its functions in perfect order, every separate part of it performing its own task in complete reliability. Nor is there any flaw to be found in all its workings. Thus it is clear that a universal power existeth, directing and regulating this infinite universe. Every rational mind can grasp this fact.
Thank you, Farah. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
I have wakened in thy shelter, O my God, and it becometh him that seeketh the shelter to abide within the sanctuary of thy protection and the stronghold of defense. Illumine my inner being, my Lord, with the splendors of the dayspring of thy revelation, even as thou didst illumine my outer being with the morning lights of thy favor.
Thank you, John. Is there anyone else who would like to share at this time?
Okay.
Well then, as usual, let me readjust this. This is usually better this way. As usual, we always like to remind you that this is a joint community effort. We're coming to you, of course, if for those of you who choose to be in our Zoom stream, you can do that by, well, we have to always express our appreciation to the Clearwater Baha'i community because they're allowing us to come to you through their website. It's a little close. Let me move that back some. I look like a giant compared to you right now. Maybe that's a little better. I'm not sure. That's good enough. That's good enough. Of course, it's always important that we just say it. Say it, Daryl. For some
Yes,
reason,
this is a
I'm
community
purple here.
effort, and for anyone who has an interest in the Baha'i faith and would like to know more, there are some websites that you can go to get more information. And those websites are www.baha'i.us, www.baha'i.org, www.bahaiteachings.org. And if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area and would like to know more, or Clearwater, you can always go to the Clearwater website, which is www.clearwaterbaha'is.org.
And there you go. There you go. You know, we always say if you'd like to know more, we hope you want to know more if you are not already, familiar with the Baha'i faith, or maybe you are considering, exploring the Baha'i faith. We certainly hope you do, because it's truly rewarding. It is truly rewarding. And if the idea of progressive revelation appeals to you, because this is like the foundation of what Baha'is believe, that all of the world's major faiths are all part of one faith, which is faith in God. And every prophet or messenger that revealed that word that religion is based on in its original truth, that is simply, again, part of God's ongoing revelation to mankind. And the Baha'i faith being the latest of those revelations and fulfilling a lot of the prophecies of previous revelations and previous, what's the word I'm looking for? Of previous prophets. And so we strongly encourage you to
Investigate for yourself.
that sounds better than check it out. But yes, to investigate, because that too is one of the Baha'i precepts. One of the precepts of the Baha'i faith is, again, what is called, we don't just call it that, but what is called progressive revelation, not progressive revelation, independent investigation
The
of
truth.
the truth.
Absolutely. So, again, we come to the end of the program today, and the one thing that I can tell you that will enrich your life and the life of everyone that you know and that world around you is that if you just take a moment to share the love, I guarantee you'll never regret that.
And I'm sure the people you share it with would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
O people of justice, be as brilliant as the light, and as splendid as the fire that blazed in the burning bush. The brightness of the fire of your love will no doubt fuse and unify the contending peoples and kindreds of the earth. Whilst the fierceness of the flame of enmity and hatred cannot but result in strife and ruin, we beseech God that he may shield his creatures from the evil designs of his enemies. He verily hath power over all things. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Oh, oh. Be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Be world embracing. Watch over yourselves, for the evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the all-seeing God, make your escape from the darkness that surrounded you. Let your vision be world-embracing, rather than confined to your own self. These are the words of Ahava. Be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Oh, oh. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Share the love, spread the love. See you next time, we hope.
Thank you.
Take care.